Hey, I was blocking that here. So today I'm going to debut a little bit of a new series on this channel. I'm a little bit excited for this. And this is going to be a YouTuber review. What does that mean? That means that I'm just going to pick random YouTubers, random streamers, people that I have an interest in, and I'm going to review them for your entertainment and content pleasure. Today, the subject is one that I've been a little bit obsessed with over the past couple years. This is an individual that was a former pro fighting gamer. This guy has won tournaments, according to him, all around, and was once ranked the #1 ranked Turbo Street Fighter champion in the United States. We'll get into that later. But this person is a renaissance man. He is a YouTuber. He is a Twitcher. He is a former blipper, I guess. Darkside Phil is the subject of this first YouTuber review. And boy, there is a history around this individual that you're going to see in a little bit. It's definitely something that is unique. So without any further ado, let's just get into the lore of Darkside Phil. DSP Gaming, the king of hate, whatever it is that people tend to call him. Let's just jump right in. Before we jump into it, I'm going to link the actual post to the timeline that I used for this video in the description below. It's on KIWI Farms. I think the pinnacle of your fame is once you reach the threshold of having a thread on KIWI Farms. So the post that I'm referring to, I'll link it below. The person that made it has to be autistic. It's a very detailed post about DSP's timeline, all the way from his first post on the internet to today. So read it if you have the chance, but you might actually lose and gain some chromosomes as a result of it. So now let's jump into it. The Darkside Phil saga began when Philip Burnell, the man who would call himself the king of hate, would win the coveted 2005 EVO tournament as the top-ranking United States player. Of course, standing for the Evolution Championship Series, which represents the largest and longest-running fighting tournaments in the world. Of course, this victory didn't come without controversy, as that year, the Super Street Fighter II tournament game that was used in competition was a PlayStation 1 port, which suffered inaccuracies as well as bugs that made it denounced by most of the top-ranking Super Street Fighter II tournament players. Phil ranked 4th place in the tournament. However, he was the top-ranking player from the United States, as the top 3 places were occupied by Japanese players. Phil would go bragging relentlessly about his accomplishment, even to this day, reminding his current viewers that he was once ranked top Super Street Fighter II player in the world, ignoring all the small details that led to that event. Phil would later go on to compete in several other tournaments, winning some, losing some, however none would top his 4th place EVO 2005 ranking. Several arcs in the Darkside Phil timeline, and the YouTube saga began all the way in 2008 when he uploaded his very first video to the channel called Darkside Phil. Phil was actually one of YouTube's earliest Let's Players, gaining popularity mostly in part because he was playing new games, as well as uploading multiple videos on a daily basis. To this day, Phil uploads in upwards of 15 to 20 videos daily, often breaking up his longer form streams in 10 to 15 minute chunks, even going as far as uploading individual matches, fighting games, separate videos. This time he participated in another tournament, this time a Street Fighter IV tournament, where he was DQ'd for the following outburst.
Where am I playing? You still haven't told me! Jesus Christ, man! Treat you like you're want me to run the fucking tournament for you?
It was in October 2nd of 2010 where Darkside Phil would decide to become a full-time YouTuber. Unfortunately, by December of that same year, because Phil would tell his viewers to purposely click on ads, this violated Google AdSense terms of service and his monetization was suspended. As a result, Phil moved on to Blip.tv, an early YouTube competitor. Here in 2011, when Phil had his most well-known playthrough of the game Heavy Rain, where he amassed quite a bit of a following. His relationship with Blip TV would end on a sour note when he made some anti-Semitic jokes during his Dead Space 2 playthrough. In January, however, he was partnered with Machinima, reportedly making over 6 figures a month during the year. It was a time period when Phil wasn't yet the super sane Phil that we would come to know and love today. However, the seeds were planted and the flowers began to bloom. In 2012, his playthroughs of Black Mesa, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and the Grand Theft Auto 3D trilogy were heavily criticized by his fanbase because of his often nagging and blaming of the game for his downsides and his inability to move forward and progress. It was at this time that Phil started to ban his critics and do his best to silence people that spoke out against him. 2013 was the first year where somebody uploaded a video titled "This is how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 2", using Phil's gameplay to show viewers how you don't play Metal Gear Solid 2. The video went viral, attracting a decent crowd of detractors that would follow Phil to this very day. One of the first financial incidents came as a result of a promised patron pledge by Phil, where he claims that he would restart an earlier project of his known as Project 7 if he would reach the goal. This, however, never took place, beginning the cycle of Phil not coming through with promises even after getting financial backing. On May 1st, he was caught jerking off on stream by accident. That's all I really want to talk about it. I know it's an important part of the Dark Side Phil saga, but I really don't want to think of this man jerking off for longer than I have to. Partnership with Machinima would end unamicably early on in 2017, but not before Phil would have another goal on Patreon where he promised a full playthrough of the game Persona 3, of which he would rage quit and not complete the promise. Early May, Phil had an incident with his then girlfriend Liana where he would publicly describe intimate details of what went on. Because of this, Phil would amass a huge amount of criticism. I'm going to leave a link below that really does a great job summarizing what took place. Really, check out the video, it's fucking hysterical. Throughout the entirety of his streaming and YouTubing career, Phil has made a point to try to squeeze as much money as possible from the people that watch his videos, oftentimes having pre-streams where he asks viewers for help. The latest financial burden is one of a backlog of taxes that Phil did not pay as a result of negligence on the part of his quote-unquote tax attorney that Phil claims never informed him of the business taxes Phil would have to pay. A lot more twists and turns to the Phil Burnell saga that I can't get into this video because it would make the video several hours long. If you guys want me to get into the specifics of these, make sure to leave in the comments below which saga you want me to talk about. I became intrigued with the whole saga after watching some of the detractor videos, as well as watching some of the Phil streams where he constantly creates memes and drops lines he himself doesn't realize are gold, such as,
"What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Anything for this, right? I'm good at lying."
And the rest of the board goes unselected.
Be sure to link some of the channels below that I watch on an almost daily basis to recount the many happenings of Phil Burnell. So that is the video. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried my best to summarize the legacy and the saga of Dark Side Phil, DSP Gaming, the king of hate, Phil Burnell himself. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that like button. Look at the links in the description below if you guys are interested in other stuff. I have another channel dedicated to magic. I know, I don't really want to admit it. I have some ways you could support the channel down there. You guys should totally check that out as well, just saying. I'm gonna go figure out different ways to use fake Sperry shoes as a lifeboat. I'm gonna do that.